Nuance with Nikki, the nitty gritty, even if it's pretty and it's pin well. Guys, you know, if you watch my last video, I'm wearing the same outfit. How I was struggling to find words about how, I'm so proud that I've been speaking out about rainbowism and speaking on behalf of rainbowism. But now that I'm growing my audience, I refuse to be seen as or to use my voice only to be like, yeah, rainbowism, finish and clear, jingle bells, jingle all the way, because apartheid happened. Okay, and the British Union of South Africa happened, and the Republic of Transvaal happened, and the Orange Free State happened, and the province of Natal happened, and the Cape Colony happened, and there's still consequences today. And I do not want my pro-rainbowism to be used as an excuse to excuse any of those, right? And you can somehow see the change in my demeanor just a few hours later, because won't Penwell come around and say, Nikki, hold my beer. I got this. I got this. So he's going to talk, and I'm going to add some nuance that I think I can add. But this is why Penwell's a professional. This is why.
But essentially, they have like a home base. Black South Africans, the Zulus, Maxhosa, Maswati, Amandebele, Sutus, the Tswanas, the Pedis, the Tsongas, the Vendas. Don't know if I'm forgetting anyone else.
Yes.
They really need.
Yes, Penwell, you are forgetting a very important group of people. Sorry. There is my alarm. Count. Okay, so just back on who Penwell was forgetting. Okay, and we all do this. So this is not an indictment on Penwell. He made space for, I may have forgotten someone. We all are in the habit of forgetting them. Khoikhoi and the San. Khoikhoi and the San. So while I'm interjecting with this, how many Khoisan languages can you even name? Ngu. Ever heard of it? Kuku. Do you get what I mean? Namibia has got Nama as an official language. South Africa, we have got to be the voice of the Khoisan. We've got to be engaging with them because government's not doing that greater job. And we all have Khoisan blood. More people than even know have Khoisan blood. Okay, so the Khoisan. We just need to put that in there. But carry on. Please, Penwell, take it away.
To take a step back and be like, who's actually speaking on our behalf? It cannot be that you've just got a Rotendo speaking on behalf of South African politics, or you've even got a Leanne Manas speaking on behalf of South African politics.
And it cannot even be that you just have a Nikki speaking on behalf of South African politics. It does have to be you guys. But can I add a point? Can I just add a point, nah? That is why I made all those videos on Black South African issues. Actually, this is the undercurrent. When I make those videos, I'll get, if anybody doesn't like my video, a line or two of criticism. Or I'll get something, this is from non-South Africans, a line, a paragraph, but it's a bit more apologetic, right? When it's a Black South African saying exactly what I'm saying it articulately, they get paragraph after paragraph, and their entire character is questioned. I made a whole hour's video on that. I think I called it, please watch this video before you move to or talk about South Africa. Okay, so I just wanted to point it out. And then they will turn around and say to the Black South African, you are self-hating. Okay, I'm not even criticizing that. I'm just pointing it out. That black people, you are doing enough. You are talking. You are not responsible for who's not listening to you. Okay, but yeah, he's trying to talk about black autonomy and black people taking back their narrative. Absolutely, I'm behind that. That's actually why I make my segment called Mixed Messages. It's a series I'm trying to do on mixed race stuff. I've just been distracted now by current affairs. But yeah, mixed race issues are difficult to talk about too. Okay, so taking back your narrative as your people is just a theme there. I'm just here as a supporting voice, okay? I'm not trying to speak over you. And I'm really sorry if I do, if it comes across that way. I'm imperfect. I hope you trust my intention. Okay.
Or John Steenhuisen. When a Black South African's going to speak for themselves and say, no, Um, no, we hear what you guys are saying, but at the end of the day, we'd also like to come in. Leanne, your family comes here from Lebanon, and we love you. You're South African. You're one of our people, and please carry on with the beautiful work you're doing in Morning Live.
So, before anybody says anything else, he has acknowledged the belonging and the love of, in this conversation, we're using Leanne as a representative of white South Africans. I do not like how the rest of the world has now gone and cheapened that conversation between Leanne and Rutendo by just when they label it. See, a white South African tell the black. They're cheapening it and taking the nuances out. If we listened to black South Africans, it's always a nuanced conversation. Watch how he gives her a sense of belonging and holds her accountable. This is not an either or thing. This is a both and. Okay?
Or John Steenhuisen. When a black South African's going to speak for themselves and say, no, 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 no. No, we hear what you guys are saying, but at the end of the day, we'd also like to come in. Leanne, your family comes here from Lebanon, and we love you. You're South African. You're one of our people, and please carry on with the beautiful work you're doing in Morning Live.
You see, there's the acknowledgement and now the accountability.
But as black South Africans, we need you to also make sure that you highlight this issue of colonialism and apartheid that has really, really oppressed and destroyed black South Africans. We need you, Leanne, as a South African, to also hold that.
Right. And with Leanne Manas, of course, being an SABC reporter, I'm sure that she has done plenty. I have full faith that she, the individual, has done plenty of work. But that is a reminder. On my channel, white people, you will hear me stand up for you. You will. Okay? Please know that what I'm trying to say and what Penwell has put so much more articulately than I feel I'm able to is when I speak to you, or you, whoever you are, whatever color, I would like to focus on your accountability. I think what Penwell is saying is each of us need to speak more about accountability. When you're not in the room, whatever color you are, you can trust. Even if it's never going to be on my video, you can trust I'm standing up for you to the best of my ability. And where I don't, I do reflect. Okay? Because I come from a generation of South Africans who had a vision since we were little for what we wanted for this nation. We did not take it lightly. We couldn't even write properly first yet. And this was our dream. This is not a new thing. This is not wokeness. Okay? This is us. Us, my generation. Look, he's in grade 6 there. And this was our dream, and we take it seriously. But in taking that seriously, everybody got to pay tax. The tax of self-reflection. The tax of self-reflection. And yes, every now and then everyone's going to get burnt. Every now and then everyone's going to get an unfair accusation of racism. One of the things that I have tried to say in white spaces that you guys don't believe me. You don't believe me when I say this. You know that rage that you are feeling from black people in this generation right now, where you go, but I'm not responsible. I'm going through it. Please hear me. Before you guys were the buffer for that, we as colored people were. Many times as colored people, in a much more vulnerable time, we were the only white person in the room. And I'm talking not just like a pale colored person like me. I'm talking like a proper dark colored person. Maybe darker than the black person. But with him being colored, we were the buffer for that. Okay, I'm going to ask you, those of you that are willing to reflect, read the comments of what colored people are going to say about this. And we say this with no hatred. Okay, what I'm trying to say is if we can get over it, you guys can too. Or not just get over it, but understand that's part of the process. Sorry. It is. Sometimes as a colored child, you had to take a lot of rage from a wounded black adult and still manage to have that grace in your heart. And then that was kind of in my high school years. And then by the time you were a young adult, and for me even, one of my teachers was like this. Today she's actually married to a colored man. And she's so much more able to hear. And the black community generally, I have found, is so much more able to hear. Now that a lot of their pain has settled, a lot of them are so much more able to hear us in a different way. And that was driven home to me, and this is the biggest inspiration. The reason I am so much on this channel, what gave me my confidence, was all those black people standing up for Tyler, because people younger than me who are black could have explained mixed race politics in such a way that I was like, huh? Do you get what I mean? Do you get what I mean? Please don't twist the words that I'm saying right now. This process, the process of surgery that we have to do, the extraction of the cancer if we don't want to keep regressing. Cancer's like that. Apartheid was a cancer. She's like that. We are going to go into regression. That is the nature of disease. It is going to be uncomfortable. The conversation on race only ends when all of us have had it. Yes, over and over and over again. Okay? And sometimes it's going to be unfair. If you think it's been unfair to you, remember LSM 1, black South Africans at the bottom. LSM 2, black South Africans and some colored South Africans. LSM 3, black South Africans and more color. Okay, going down a rabbit hole. Let's focus on Penwell. Guys, this is tough stuff, so I apologize if I misspeak. I'm trying my best with a difficult conversation, eh?
Rutendo Matinyarare, you're here as our brother. Come here and be arrogant. Don't come here and be arrogant when where you come from at home, things are not good, but you have the audacity to come into my house and say the dishes are not washed, but your home is down. Don't be arrogant. Otherwise, you must go back to where you came from. If you come here, you come with respect and you listen to us. And if you have an opinion, which you think is important, could be that you think South Africans are lazy, they lack an entrepreneurial spirit, you do it with respect.
Okay, can I just point something out, please? You don't have to agree with me, but I do think that when you called him your brother, you were doing that from a monoracial lens. It's how people naturally think when everybody in their family is the same color. Okay? He is your cousin. I am your sister. I have a brother that's 100% white, doesn't even live in South Africa. Okay, doesn't even speak English. And I have another brother that's 100% colored. Okay? I'm your sister. That's your cousin. And there's a way that we behave in Auntie's house, which Penwell goes on to speak about in this thing. Okay, guys, this is another non-elegant video. I'm really sorry. I hope I've planted seeds, food for discussion. I hope that my intention comes across even if I'm not elegant in how I say it. Everything is going to be better if everybody or the majority of people sweep around their own front door. The undercurrent of what Penwell is saying here to Rutendo, who would then represent foreign nationals, is, guys, please don't now be condescending and disregard all of the good work black South Africans have been doing, because they have. And you don't just get to come into the house and be like, and why haven't you, and why haven't you, and why haven't you? A lot of work was done long before you got here, right? And to the white South Africans who know what work has been done, please don't sweep it under the rug. Please don't sweep it under the rug. And, okay, he touched on Indian South Africans. You didn't see it in this video. I do want to address that later because I think there are misconceptions around Indians in South Africa and the Indian diaspora. But yeah, I think my intuition's telling me I must deal with that when I can deal with it more delicately. Okay, but the last point that I want to reiterate, it's not that black South Africans aren't speaking. You guys are doing a phenomenal job. You are. It's that I can say the same thing as you, and I'm heard in a different way. I can say things I learned from you. And nobody has the right to patronize you. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, people who haven't been living here and don't know why you make your decisions need to be learning from you. People who have been living here and haven't seen you for who you are need to be learning from you. Okay. So for me, this theme, I can't believe I'm once again talking on black issues. I am sorry if I'm overspeaking. I really am. These are delicate situations. But my aim and my intention in this video is, just because I'm a rainbowist, just because I've spoken out against rainbowists, does not mean by any stretch of the imagination that we don't have our own door to sweep around. We do. We do as South Africans, and there's a lot of self-reflection we have to do. all of us, continuously. But people who keep coming here illegally and think that skin color now makes them the president of our country and that it entitles them to something are in principle doing something that's no different from what white people did. The difference is in quantity. In quantity. The white people have done it for longer, had a lot of money behind them and whatever. But we are not xenophobes because we're like, hey, look over there. We saw how someone came 400 years old, planted a seed, and this big oak grew, and the next thing we know, there was a forest. Now we're seeing you. There's just a little plant growing. There's just a little plant. We've seen this before. We've seen this. You're not wrong for wanting to uproot that issue. Okay, please, I said the issue, not the people. As always, I am on the side of South Africans that would like other Africans here. We really would. We're saying, please don't make this country the trash receptacle for the ones you don't want. We're saying respect us as you respect the UK because you send them the best. Respect us as you respect the USA because you send them the best. You respect us as you respect Australia, whatever, France, because you send them the best. You send them the best. And our government has allowed you to get rid, maybe not with your intention, of the ones you don't want, and we are overburdened. We are overburdened. All right, guys. That's the best I've got so far. It feels weird and difficult, but I guess that's what nuance is. Thank you for joining Nuance with Nikki. That was a lot of nitty gritty. Yeah.